Should senior citizens commit mass suicide or should we extend our lifespan? That's something I'm going to talk about today, so stick around. Hi, my name is Sachiaki Takamiya. I am the author of Ikigai Bio-Hacking. So, do you know about Yusuke Narita, who is an assistant professor of economics at Yale University? He suggested that mass suicide could be the solution to Japan's aging population in several interviews and public appearances about a year ago. And his comment blew up in social media and it was on the news everywhere. And many people are outraged by it, especially senior citizens were so upset and angry. There was a lot of criticism and like that. And I am becoming to be a part of a senior citizen now. I'm in my early 60s, so it concerns me too. Yeah. However, some younger people supported his comment. There seemed to be a sort of sentiment that senior citizens are becoming a sort of burden for younger generation because we have a healthcare problem and also who are going to support yeah senior citizens financially, so the younger generation. So if we, for example, stop dying, like extending our lifespan, that would even escalate the situation, right? By the way, Yusuke Narita doesn't talk about lifespan extension. He's just addressing this issue for the present situation, the present aging society. Yeah, right. And also, uh, he he says his comments were taken out of context and that he was mainly addressing a growing effort to push the most senior people out of leadership positions in business and politics to make room for younger generations. Right. So in Japan, many old people still remain in politics and business and even in academics. Yeah, they don't retire. Right. And then so we have this kind of a hierarchy system, and then younger people cannot become leaders. There's no generational shift taking place. So a lot of younger people are kind of frustrated with this situation. So I think the fact that his comment was supported by many young people is based on this kind of sentiment. Yeah. And also, Narita did apologize later on, after receiving so many criticism, yeah, that it was not appropriate to use that kind of language. Yeah, right. Okay. But anyway, so if we are aiming, like, extending our lifespan, this is a kind of important issue that we cannot ignore. Yeah. And in fact, Dr. David Sinclair addresses this issue in his book Lifespan as well, because one of the objections he received about extending lifespan is precisely this point. What happened to the society? What are the social implications about people not retiring, politicians still remain their seat, and then there's nothing will change because usually old people tend to be more conservative and they're not really open to new change and so on. Yeah. So to respond to that objection, he gives some answers. And one of the answers is, so David Sinclair suggests that establishing mandatory retirement ages or implementing cognitive fitness assessments could be potential solutions to ensure that leaders remain mentally sharp and physically capable of fulfilling their duties. And Dr. Sinclair emphasizes that these measures should be implemented with caution and without discrimination against older individuals based solely on their age. Right. Okay. So I suppose Narita would probably argue that who is going to pass this kind of law? Because the politicians are old and they will not welcome this kind of law. Therefore, this will never happen because they'll be re-elected again because old people are going to vote for them, and then young people don't go to vote. So the situation will not change. That is probably true. Right. Okay. So does it mean is our attempt to live longer a burden for younger generations? Right. Well, so personally, I am not advocating lifespan extension. I am advocating health span extension. I'm not interested in living to 130 or 150. Yeah. I am just interested in living to like 100 years old or 120 years old, or like to the present lifespan, but stay healthy until the final moment. Yeah. To avoid becoming frail. Yeah. Um, Now, so there is another person who advocates health span extension rather than lifespan extension, and that is Dr. Peter Attia. And he often talks about becoming a kick-ass 100-year-old. Yeah, so even when you become 100 years old, you stay active, still healthy, and still being able to do what you can do now. Yeah, so that is the ideal. And I think this is a common kind of a agreement or understanding among the people who promote health and longevity now. Yeah, even among the people who promote lifespan extension, because some of the protocol they recommend, if you practice, you end up increasing your health span as well. Therefore, the end result will be the same. Yeah. So whether you promote lifespan extension or health span extension, you are becoming a healthy old individual and avoiding becoming frail. Yeah. And therefore, yeah, and also in Japan, we have a word called PPK. That is a keyword in health and longevity field. PPK means pimping kalori, which means live strong, die quick. Yeah, so stay healthy as long as possible, and when the time comes, die as quickly as possible. So avoid slow death. Yeah, so that is the ideal situation. Now, if that is the case, so by extending our health span, especially, it's not creating more burden for younger generations, but reducing the burden. Yeah, because we'll be active and healthy. And so that means we won't need a financial support either. I mean, that is at least my plan. I will continue working to support myself. Right. And I want to continue working because this is part of my Ikigai too. Yeah. And you need Ikigai to stay healthy. Right. Okay. But does it mean I'm not going to retire? So if everybody continues working, then yeah, so the same question, senior citizens will not retire, then there won't be a room for younger generation. There won't be a generational shift. Okay, so that's where Ikigai Biohacking comes in. Because Ikigai Biohacking isn't just a promote, health span extension. It is to promote like leading a meaningful life. Ikigai means life with value. Yeah. So at the end of the day or the final moment when we die, we would like to die feeling that this life was valuable. Yeah, it was worth living. Yeah, that's how we want to end our life. Yeah, therefore, we want to increase our health span, but just just to create a good quality. The quality of life is important. So we have four pillars. One is physical biohacking and mental biohacking, spiritual biohacking, and planetary biohacking. So personal health and planetary health are tied together. They are a set. Yeah. So planetary health is as critical as personal health. Yeah. And then planetary health includes social health, society in general. Yeah. Therefore, social biohacking is part of planetary biohacking. Now, So there could be one solution or one idea that can help. That is Omi merchants concept. Omi merchants are successful merchants in 17th century and 18th century Japan, and they were from Shiga Prefecture because Omi is the old name of Shiga. That's where I live now. And Shiga today is the longest living prefecture in Japan. So it is one of the Japanese blue zones. Yeah. And this Omi merchant had a unique philosophy that is called sanpo-yoshi, which means three-way satisfaction. Yeah. So urite yoshi means seller is happy, and kaite yoshi means buyer is happy, and second yoshi means society is happy. So whenever they conducted business, they pay attention to those three happy situation. It's a kind of win-win situation, really. So when you talk about kaite yoshi, like buyer is happy, but also your competitors are happy too. So not competing, but more collaborating. Yeah. So the problem is the competition. Yeah. Because the competition is everywhere. The business is a competition, really. Yeah. It's not only between old and young. Yeah. There's competition among different nationalities and everywhere. So unless we do away with competition, there won't be a solution. We need to change our business environment. And then there's a concept called taru o shiru in Japan, and that means be satisfied with your lot. Yeah. So the problem of today's economy is we are seeking growth. You're always trying to grow. Yeah. There's endless growth. Yeah. But once you reach certain level of success, you should be satisfied with your lot and do not seek further growth. Yeah. Because otherwise, it is impossible to make 60 billion people happy. Yeah. It's a ridiculous to compete, yeah, with 60 billion people. If we are aiming to be billionaires, because the problem with today's business model is everybody's trying to be a billionaire, yeah, but only 100 people or so can become billionaires, and the rest of the people need to be poor in order to support this structure. Yeah, to make everybody happy, we need to reduce the level of success. Therefore, downsize our economic activities and then shifting from global to local economy, because global economy is one of the problems of this competitive structure. Yeah. Now 60 billion people competing, but if we shift to local economy, then you are competing with less people, right? Let's say if you live in a town with 10,000 people, yeah, and you have a cafe, maybe there's one or two more cafes, but you're comfortable, you have enough customers and everything. But then one franchised cafe comes into your town and operates sort of globally and take all your customers. And that is what is happening. Yeah. But then only a few cafes can survive in the entire planet. But if we shift to local economy, and then if you are satisfied with your only local operation, then the many cafes can survive. Yeah. And then we need to do away with the competitive mindset. Because the reason why we are competitive is because we're conditioned to think this way. Yeah. Now, even in the field of health and longevity, many people have this mindset. Yeah. Because health, fitness are often related to sport. And there are many athletes and former athletes and people like that are in this field. So often when they speak, they use a kind of language that is kind of centered around this kind of competitive kind of sport culture. Taking part in marathon race and winning, and by becoming number one, you can prove your fitness type of mentality, really. Yeah. Even some health promoters, they're showing their biceps and stuff like that, because their audience are not only senior citizens, they have some young audience who are into fitness, they are competing, they are trying to improve their athletic ability and so on. So to appeal to those audience, you need to show that this method also works for you to become winners, kind of thing. But to change our society, we need to do away with this competitive mindset. I'm not interested in marathon races. In fact, I'm going to do marathon sometime soon. I'm going to run 42 kilometers, but just by myself. It's not a competition. Yeah, it's a meditation for me. Running is a meditation. It's an opportunity for me to be in tune with nature, right? And why are we so competitive? Why do we have this sort of mindset? Because we are conditioned. Yeah, we're conditioned to think like this through our TV and movies and everything. Yeah, Hollywood is a good example. The movies we watch, yeah, main theme is good versus evil. Yeah, or heroes defeating villains. Yeah, they're always winners and losers. Yeah, we need to change this narrative. We need to shift this concept. Yeah, we need to make different kind of movies which create different narrative. And there are those type of movies. So Ghibli movies are a good example. Have you seen Princess Mononoke? Yeah, it's a great movie. It's an action-packed, thrilling entertainment story, yet it has a completely different narrative. It's not good versus evil type of typical story. Yeah, I recommend that you watch this movie very much. This is a fantastic movie. It is one of the best movies I've ever seen. Yeah, talking about Hayao Miyazaki, we have a new movie coming up, The Boy and the Heron. That is also fantastic too. I think it'll be released sometime this week, right? So yeah, I recommend you watch this one as well. If you are interested in, the Ikigai Bio-Hacking, you will definitely enjoy this movie too. But Princess Mononoke, yeah, please watch Princess Mononoke, then you'll understand what I am talking about. All right. So instead of competing, we want to learn to share the pie with everybody. All right. So to answer the original question, should senior citizens commit mass suicide or should we extend our lifespan? The answer is we should increase the health span of ourselves and the planet or society in general by learning to be less competitive and be loving to one another. All right, so for more details, please read my book, Ikigai Biohacking based on Japanese natural health, especially chapter 8, how to bioharmonize Gaia, the Mother Earth. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Sachiaki Takamiya. I am the author of the Ikigai Diet and Ikigai Bio-Hacking. If you like this video, please give me your thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And please leave your comment. What do you think about the problem of the aging society and lifespan extension or health span extension? Yeah, please leave your comment. Thank you. Well, I will see you in the next video. Live with your Ikigai!